Hello viewers, welcome to my next video on SPSS tutorial. This is Dr. Sumit Bakshi, and in this video I will make you learn how to calculate correlation in SPSS and how to interpret its output. So in this video I am going to uncover how to draw and interpret scatterplot to check for violations of assumptions, analysis of Pearson product moment coefficient of correlation, interpretation of output of SPSS in detail. The first question I am taking for this tutorial is there any significant correlation between attendance of students and their performance in test? Accordingly, the null hypothesis is there will be no significant relationship between attendance of students and their performance in test. It is visible from research question and null hypothesis that there are two variables, attendance of students and performance of students. Both the variables are continuous variables, hence use of Pearson product moment coefficient of correlation will be appropriate, as it is meant to test correlation between two continuous variables, or if at least one variable is continuous and other variable is nominal. Pearson product moment coefficient of correlation determine both direction and strength of the relationship. For details, please check out my other video on types of correlation. Link you will find in the description box. For this tutorial, I have taken a fictitious data. I have set the data and its properties in SPSS. In data view, first column is identification number. I have taken total 50 students for this tutorial. Second column is attendance of students during a month. And third column is marks of students in a particular test, which defines the performance of students. Attendance and marks of students are paired. Like for first student, attendance is 24 and marks is 47. For second student, attendance is 25 and marks is 48. If these pairs are mixed up, we will end up in getting wrong results. That means you need to be very careful while pairing these variables for each student or each identity. Now, it is always better to generate scatterplot before analyzing correlation. The scatterplot helps us to check various things. Scatterplot check for outliers. It also gives the idea about direction and strength of the relationship between two variables. Scatterplot also check for the assumptions of homoscedasticity and assumption of linearity. Let's go back to SPSS and draw scatterplot. To draw scatterplot, we need to go to graph, then chart builder. We get our variables here automatically. Now we need to choose which type of graph we need to draw. We want to draw scatter, so we will choose scatter from here. Then we'll drag this first simple scatter to this empty place. Then drag first variable attendance to x-axis and second variable marks to y-axis. Now this is not a real graph, real scatter plot. For that we need to press OK from here. We get our scatter plot in the output window. This is our scatter plot. From this scatter plot, we can check various things. First is outliers. These are outliers here. It is always recommended to exclude these cases, as these may seriously affect the results of the study. Next, we can check for the direction and strength of the relationship from this scatter plot. Let me show how. We can draw a straight line through this scatter plot, and this straight line is in the upward direction. That means these two variables are positively correlated. They have positive correlation. For details, you can check my other video. Also, these scatter points are very close to this straight line. They are closer to this straight line. This shows that they bear a strong relationship. Attendance and marks are strongly correlated. Lastly, we can check for the assumptions of violations from this scatter plot. First assumption is assumption of homoscedasticity. For that, you need to check whether the cluster of these scatter plots of this data set is in the cigar shape. That means it should not be the case that it is narrow from one end and wider from the other end. It should be in the cigar shape. We have taken a small sample. That's why it is not clearly visible that it is in cigar shape. Otherwise, for the huge set of data, it is clearly visible whether the cluster is in the cigar shape or not. So this assumption is fulfilled here. Second assumption is assumption of linearity. That means we need to check whether we can draw a straight line from this set of cluster, from this set of data points. Yes, we can draw, as we can see. So this condition, this assumption is also fulfilled. In our case, both the assumptions are tenable. Now moving towards the analysis of correlation, we need to go back to SPSS. For that, we need to go to Analyze, then Correlate, and then Bivariate. We get our variables here in the left dialog box. We can simply drag these variables to the right dialog box or just select the variable and then press this arrow button. Then select the variable and press this arrow button. We can add third variable too. But in results, only two variables will be correlated at a time, as we have chosen a bivariate correlation. Now we have moved these variables to the right dialog box. Let's go to options. If you want descriptive statistics in your results along with correlation, then check this box mean and standard deviation. Also, don't forget to check the box exclude cases pairwise. And this SPSS will exclude those cases whose value for one variable is missing. Then continue. Now here we get the other options too along with Pearson. But as we are calculating Pearson product moment coefficient of correlation, so we will keep it check as such. Next, test of significance, we will keep it check two-tailed test as we are dealing with null hypothesis. Third is flag significant correlation. Keep this box checked in the default setting. This box will give asterisk next to all the correlations which are significant. Make sure these three boxes are checked before moving ahead. Then press OK. We get our output in the output window. First box is descriptive statistics. In this box, we get mean and standard deviation for both the variables attendance and marks. Also, we get N for attendance and marks. In both the cases, N is 50. So that means we have not missed any data. Next box is correlation matrix. This box is called as correlation matrix. Because in this we get the correlation of each combination of variable. Here attendance is correlated to attendance, attendance is correlated to marks, marks is correlated to attendance and marks is correlated to marks. When a variable is correlated to itself, we get the coefficient of correlation 1. And here attendance is correlated to marks, we get the coefficient of correlation is 0.782. Here also marks is correlated to attendance, we get the same coefficient of correlation 0.782. Also there are two asterisks next to R value 0.782. These are two asterisks. These are also called stars. It is mentioned here that correlation is significant at 0.01 level. If there is one asterisk, that means correlation is significant at 0.05 level. From this table, we can interpret many things. First thing, we need to check N. Here, N is 50 for both attendance and marks in this table, correlation table. Also, in this table, we have N is 50 for both the variables. That means we have not missed any data. If by chance we miss any data, in that case, N in correlation table would differ from N in the descriptive statistics table. Next thing we can check is level of significance. Here level of significance is 0.000, which is less than the alpha level, 0.05. We can say that our correlation is significant, which is also we can see through this asterisk, and it is mentioned here too. Next thing we can check from R value. Here our R value is 0.782. We can check direction and strength of the relationship from this R value. First, for direction, we need to check sign in front of the R value. There is no sign, that means this R value is positive. If this R value is negative, then there will be a negative sign in front of this R value. So here R value is positive, that means attendance and marks are positively correlated. Correlation between attendance and marks is positive. I can say that if attendance increases or decreases, marks will increase or decrease. Next thing is strength of the relationship. If the R value is more than 0.5, the relationship will be strong. The correlation will be strong. Here our R value is 0.782, which is more than 0.5. That means attendance and marks bear a strong correlation. For details, you can check my other video. If the value of R is less than 0.29, in that case the correlation is weak correlation. And if the value of R is in between 0.30 to 0.49, in that case the correlation is moderate correlation. But here the value is more than 0.5, so correlation is strong correlation. So these two variables, attendance and marks, are positively and strongly correlated. Lastly, we can also calculate coefficient of determination from this value of R. Coefficient of determination tell us how much variance these two variables share. Coefficient of determination is calculated through the formula square of coefficient of correlation multiplied by 100. That means R square multiplied by 100. Here coefficient of correlation is 0.782. Square of this value into 100. We get the value 61.15. That means these two variables have 61.15% of shared variance. Attendance of students and their performance have 61.15% of shared variance. That's all with this video. Thank you. In case of any query, you can comment below. And if you like my video, give thumbs up. Thank you.